My dear viewers, I have some breaking news for you today. As India braces on to be a $5 trillion economy, a superpower, a self-reliant Atmanirbhar Bharat, Indian dairying shall remain self-sufficient, but not a major exporter, at least for the next 20 years. But this self-sufficiency clause comes with a condition. India needs to increase its feed productivity fourfold from 5 to 20 metric tons dry matter per hectare. But my dear dairy stakeholders, raising feed productivity will mean changing the way dairy feeding systems are operating in this country, from crop residue base to silage, from concentrate grain base to TMR. It is encouraging to see that many startups have come up in the last 2 to 3 years who are working in this direction. But the need of this hour is to make it a mass movement, a mission, a policy strategy. Institutes like Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute, National Dairy Development Board, they have all the technologies for high yielding fodder cultivation. Replicating in the field is the challenge that we have to take up. Welcome to Fox Global Network, live Frontier Dairy News of the Week. You are listening to Amit Saha. I am the founder of the Frontiers of Grassroots Sustainability Network. Fox Network is working with the food, health and livelihood stakeholders for the last 1 year for a sustainable future food system using frontier technologies. The top news is covering the Fox Frontier concept of integrated dairy farming system, covering 10 pivotal dimensions in the whole dairy supply chain, from production to consumption. In this week, we'll start with how UK is supporting farmer-led initiatives, building strategic farms and strengthening its supply chain for a sustainable dairy. In our top focus on the dairy farmer, we have news from UK, where at a virtual business and policy conference, the delegates were told that the dairy farmers need to focus on integration, export growth and benchmarking. Productivity in the dairy industry is not about producing as much milk as possible. It is about how well the sector can turn the inputs into outputs. Knowledge sharing in the industry would be vital going forward for continuous improvement and development. And this would be via farmer-led initiatives, discussion groups and strategic farms. This was what the outcome of the virtual conference was. In the second, in dairy herd, the focus on the dairy herd, we have news from Africa, where Nigeria is following the Botswana model of herd development, import ban, rangeland investment and export promotion. Nigeria felt that it should adopt its neighboring countries' approach in order to solve its challenges for food, product quality, safety and sustainability. In the top focus 3 in dairy feed, we have news on an alternative feed, the fodder beet, as a winter livestock feed. A New Zealand-based expert in a series of webinars aimed at the dairy farmers will focus on the use of fodder beet as a crop to feed livestock over the winter. However, it requires careful management to ensure that high utilization of the crop and productivity of the animal is achieved. In the top focus 4 in animal head, we have news from New Zealand, where there is a trend of transforming dairy farms into ovine or sheep farms, and the main motivation factor was the huge demand in sheep milk that is coming up globally. Also, information that the operating profit per hectare for dairy sheep is about 8,000 New Zealand dollar compared to 1,800 New Zealand dollar for dairy cows. Of course, this comes with a cost. It includes between 300,000 to 400,000 New Zealand dollar to turn an existing herringbone cow shed into a rapid existing sheep milking shed and about $100,000 for new fences. The top focus at the fifth is the dairy machines, where there is news on affordable tractors in the 55 to 75 horsepower range is quite popular globally, which are small yet idle for daily tasks, and it also doesn't pinch the farmer's budget. However, there is terrific change in the tractor's design as electronics have crept in between the driver's intentions and the tractor's response. In the top focus 6, we have on the management issues. To start with the feed management, where top quality silage and its testing is the key to reduce feed costs. This is the news from Ireland, where it is found that silage quality is the key to good animal performance and reducing winter feed costs during the housing period. Coming to shed management, where there is news that small alterations in the calf housing can improve the health of young livestock. They found that by evaluating a lot of calf sheds in UK, they found structural changes could be made to improve the airflow and provide better ventilation. This in turn would reduce the humidity and the challenge from disease pathogens, especially the ones that cause pneumonia. The next of management issues is health management, where the AFBI, they have participated in a project in Northern Ireland using sensors. The ultimate aim of the sensor technology is to develop a technology that allows the farmers to improve the dairy cow welfare, reduce antimicrobial use, and improve productivity. This is increasingly used in dairy production to allow automated monitoring of individual animals. Monitoring of animals on regular basis, allowing the problem to be detected and treated in the earlier stages. The AgriCam that is used provides a heat map of the cow's udder, especially for diseases like mastitis, to detect it at an early stage and to reduce costs on treatment. Coming to the next focus, the dairy waste management, where we have news from New Zealand, where Fonterra has published its report on sustainability. The sustainability initiatives show that New Zealand's carbon footprint is one of the lowest in the world through efficient management of the animals, including manure. And New Zealand farmers are committed for this, and one of the most efficient in the world, where the on-farm carbon footprint is approximately 1/3 of the global average. The focus is to have a healthy people, healthy environment, and healthy business. Coming to the next area of dairy market management, where we have news from India, where all-women dairy in Pune, Marvel Dairy, is struggling to survive after COVID-19. This all-women dairy were very inspired and went in for rigorous training in all the dairy cattle operations. But after the COVID-19, some of the women entrepreneurs who had taken loans for personal and professional reasons and had monthly installments to pay are finding it difficult to manage with little or no income. So this puts some stress on the women cooperatives to be sustainable. So finally, signing off, this is Amit Saha, wishing you a very safe, productive and inspiring week ahead. I hope this edition could bring some value addition to your business and some inspiration to take this mission forward for India to be a self-sufficient nation.